another thing, interesting thing on the weekly this time, look at this, guys. So this is the parabolic curve step-like formation. Okay, so the parabolic curve step-like formation is when we start creating bases and then push, and then we create another base and then push a third base and then push a fourth base and then push, and then we lose this support, this parabolic trend. So if you can see here, and now we will read what happens at the third base, which is very interesting. We are here, right? This is our candle here. So 1 month and 1 week ago, exactly 1 month and 1 week ago, that would be 37 days in time, we discussed this chart. And we are at a very pivotal point around this area. So we're gonna see the updates. If you wanna check what we said in details, this is the link to the video, and it's at minute 9, starting minute 9:30. All right, so you can go back. We were around this candle here, the first one, and 1 month and 1 week later, we are here. So what is gonna happen next? We are at a very pivotal point of either bursting or busting. So grab your cups of coffee. Let's dive into Bitcoin. We're gonna discuss our levels if we went, parabolically from here, what sections and what zones to look for. But in order to get to that stage, we need to, and it's important to just get this hurdle out of the way. We need to burst from this short-term hurdle, and I'm gonna discuss it in this chart. So our parallel channels by now. You know that we have been respected here, we have been respected here, this here at the very bottom, this very bottom again acting as a support, and bursting from this bottom into middle here acted as a support for us. And again, one more time, we were supported by the bottom, pushed all the way into the middle, came back, and now we're retesting this white trend line, and it is acting as a support. So this acted as a resistance to the dollar. Again, here rejected, came back down, retesting this white line as a support. So in order to achieve any of what we're gonna discuss next in our parabolic outlook or option, we definitely have to go and break this. If you notice, now I'm gonna turn on the magnet, and this would be the target that we need to break. So from our local top to our local bottom to the side, and as you can see, it's not only a fight of resistances and supports at the moment. This is the golden zone. So we discussed this earlier as well. In every move to the downside, we tend to most probably go back up and retest our golden zone. And if we burst out of our golden zone, this would be a trend reversal. And if our golden zone rejected us, definitely we'd be coming from the upside to the downside, rebounding into our golden zone rejected, then this would mean a trend continuation. So we are at a very, very pivotal point of deciding what do we want to do next. Bust or burst out of this zone, or let this zone bust us. So everything we're gonna talk from now on is based on this zone. So burst out of it, take out this. So those would be our short-term targets. That would be, again, we repeat, $30,000 on the around 30,000 on the middle. So technically first one would be 29,619, second would be 30, third would be the top of our local top, revisiting that, that would be at 31,000, and 4 would be the top of this parallel channel, and currently that is sitting at, if let's say this happens today, would be at 32,273, or 30, between 32,200 and 33,000 would be the highest target. So keep an eye on this golden pocket, because this will affect, the result from this will affect to either a massive sell-off, okay, or a massive burst. So I'm pretty sure by now you went back, you watched that video, you knew exactly what we were discussing, and now we can continue from here. So yeah, definitely what we discussed earlier was, and we were here, by the way. So we had this bust, we were burst to the upside, we were here, we were on this very first candle here, and we drew this, right? So we drew this trend line. We said like most probably this moves to sideways until we reach this, and this acts, and the base 3 is around this area, and potentially we could double in the shortest period of time. So doubling in the shortest period of time from 29,200, that would lead us to around the $50,000 area, around. But what zones do we have on the 50,000? And that would be base 4. And from there we start, if that happens, of course, if we applied what we spoke about earlier, if we broke the golden pocket, then that would be a place where we start to rethink the end of this move, and a sell point would approach a short-term sell point, of course. So, but what zones do we have between now and then? So today we're going to discuss the zones that, if this moved in our favor, in the way we're looking at, what zones do we have? So the first zone, which is spotted here at $52,000, would be our top zone. That would be this area, the accumulation here. This zone has resisted us on this, and it would be a kind of a very like the end zone target, or the highest target in our move. Second would be, notice this. So I'm gonna like show you my points of interest, or where I look at things, and this would be this 1 wick here. If you notice this 1 wick, which coincides, if you go with those 2 wicks and this wick. So this 1 wick which acted, and I'm gonna just draw a trend line. Let's put this in white as well, so that we have 3, and let's put it in 1 so that we don't distinguish. So this here acted as a resistance, pushed the price down, right? And then acted here as a support, and yeah, supported us on this. Again, here we reacted, here support, and then here support on those 2 candles, and notice the respect on this level. So this would be a very interesting level for me. Second level would be where we are currently at those 3 wicks here, right? You notice more than 3 on this occasion, 2 on this occasion, and 1 here. So, and again here, those accumulations at this area. So definitely where we are now would be a point of interest as well. I'm gonna remove the magnet so that I can get this as a point of interest. So current position is we are hovering below, and this zone is resisting us. So to get to our ultimate move, which we said could double, and double is like 29,200 today. So if this doubles, then that would most likely overshoot the 50 if this played as anticipated. But to reach to that end zone, we have 3 targets, or 3 zones to look at. So zone number 1 would be this would be our first zone to clear. That would be, okay, here. This would be our first zone to clear. And this should, if broke in and out, should happen in a relatively faster period of time and take people by surprise. So first zone would be between 29,200 172 and 41,900. That would be our first zone of confluence or interest, and the second zone would be from here till this area where we would hit our target from this move. So let's color this zone in green and have our green borders, and this one in orange, and wait and see how this will play out. Again, this accumulation here took us 1 week and 1 month. This will take relatively longer period of time, but when we say it's gonna happen so fast, by so fast we mean like this happened so fast, right? So if you see it on the chart, this is a so fast move to the downside, or this is a fast, relatively fast move to the downside, and this fast move is 2 candles. That means 2 weeks. This relatively fast sell-off was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 in total. This was relatively a fast sell-off, and that took 2 months. So fast here, we're not talking about 15 minutes or 1 hour or 1 week. We're talking in weekly increments. So that would be anywhere between 2 to 4 to maybe 8 weeks to play, if this will end up playing to the upside and finishing this move. And again, that is based on the golden pocket that we discussed here, the breakout of this and taking those low time frame targets. Okay, and my low time frame is the daily. So if you're looking at things on the 15 minutes on Bitcoin, you might want to reconsider a bit. So very important video to go back and watch. And of course, by the end, and this parabolic one, which I shared the link, definitely go and watch that one. If we hit our target at around the $50,000 area, we would be, and again, I'm gonna share the link to this macro Bitcoin observation video, we would hit this by the red line, by the end of this red line on this $50,000 target where we discussed in details. Something curious to notice, like from here till this red line, that would be 70 days, aka a month, and they have approximately, maybe, right, 60, yeah, a month and something, and that would be around 6 weeks. Okay, so around the 5 to 6 weeks area. And that coincides with us now just talking about the weeks. So expect some spicy things to happen within the next 5 to 6 weeks of Bitcoin. Yeah, it's interesting times to say the least. Many people will be taken off guard, either positively or negatively. Again, we have probabilities. We're not saying this is happening 100%, but we have a shot for this to happen and a slight higher probability of this happening rather than a sell-off happening. That is, again, not a financial advice. It's according to my analysis, observation, my awareness of the Bitcoin cycles, generally speaking, the macro 10 years spread over 10-year cycles and 11 now. So again, I have a slightly higher probability of rooting of this playing out rather than a sell-off of this golden pocket to play out. We'll wait and see. I'll keep you posted. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, bell notifications, so that you can get notified instantly with the time-sensitive videos that I put out on daily basis. That is everything for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show and your cups of coffee. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.